Hi there, YouTubers. Pet Prepper here, and what I'm making tonight is plantain ice cubes. Why? Well, we don't always have fresh plantain at our disposal, and I so happen to have a whole bunch of it, and I made a video already about making dried plantain, and I've made a video about plantain ointment, I believe, and maybe something else. But what I'm going to make tonight is plantain ice cubes. And Prepper Chickie turned me on to this idea. Last summer, she had this weird plant growing in her garden, and she did a video on it, and I said, oh my god, that's touch-me-nots. Everybody else apparently calls it jewel weed. But jewel weed is, I'm sure there's even a more technical name for it, but jewel weed is what most people know it as. But here in Minnesota, we call it touch-me-nots. And it usually comes out early fall, and it's been one of my favorite plants for years and years and years because it's so much fun to play with, which sounds ridiculous, but I'll show you. I have some videos on that. Anyhow, so I've got some jewel weed ice cubes in the freezer, and now I'm going to be making plantain ice cubes. I don't even know if this can be done, but I'm going to do it. And so what I've got is fresh plantain plants, and nothing's better than fresh plantain. But in the wintertime or in an emergency, or if you just can't find a plantain plant, an ice cube or ointment would be your next best friend. So what I've got here is about 2 cups. I smashed them down pretty good. 2 cups or 1.5 ounces of plantain leaves, and I also left the stems on them. And for the stuff that I put in the dehydrator, I cut the stems off, but this is all going to get boiled down and put into the freezer, so I'm not too worried about the stems. And oh my, that's a lot of work. Okay, so I was only able to spend about, I don't know, 20 minutes out in the field collecting plantain because of the deer flies and the horse flies. But I pretty much knelt down in one spot and pivoted, and I got a whole gallon bag, sorry, that was probably kind of loud, of plantain. And some of it's kind of dirty because we go four-wheeling out there and whatever, but I mean, look at the size of these leaves. They're just huge. They're beautiful. Some of them are a lot bigger. Anyways, if you're going to be making infused oil or ointments and whatever, you don't want to wash this. You don't want to wash it with water. And if you do, you're going to want to make sure that it's really dry before you do that because it can cause molds and stuff. I'm going to be dehydrating this, and I'm also going to be making some plantain ice cubes. I'm starting out with 4 cups of plantain or 3 ounces of plantain. And I've got 1 cup of water in the bottom, and I'm going to put it on low. Probably medium to get it warmed up, and no, my cover doesn't match the pan, but I'm gonna get that nice and hot, and then it's gonna take a while to cook this down. If I remember right, it took a couple hours to cook this down, and then I'll strain it through cheesecloth and put it in the ice cube trays. Okay, so what I've got here in this bowl is the plantain that I cooked down on the stovetop. I probably cooked it down for about 3 hours, strained it through cheesecloth, and then I took the emulsion blender to mix up the plantain. Not that it's going to matter once I put it into these ice cube trays, because the plantain particles that are left in here, which is a good thing, are going to just sink to the bottom, and so you're going to have like pure plantain at the bottom and, you know, whatever at the top. So anyhow, like I said, last summer, Prepper Chickie taught me how to make touch-me-not ice cubes, and I was going to show them to you, but when I went to get them out of the freezer, because I haven't needed to use them, I had some ointment made and whatever, and so if we ever needed it, I had the ointment. There was nothing left in the ice cube trays except for a little bit of like orange frozen gunk at the bottom. I don't know what happened to the water, or well, which was ice. It just like evaporated in the freezer, and I'm not sure why that is, but so there was really nothing to show you. So what I'm going to do, got these little miniature ice cube trays, which are awesome. I wish I had those little, the ones with the little round, what do you call these? Cube holes, whatever, that you can fit in like pop bottles or whatever, because they're smaller, and this kind of goes to waste if you're using it on something that could be contagious. You don't want to like put it back in the freezer and reuse it. So all I've got right now are these two little trays, and I'm just going to pour the plantain in there. And there's going to be a lot left over, and so I'm just going to put it back in the freezer in this container, or a smaller one. And when I get more ice cube trays, little ones, I will fill this back up. This is a little more brown than I was hoping it was going to be. I was thinking it was going to be more green, but it was brown pretty much right after I got done cooking it down. So anyhow, here are plantain ice cubes. Well, they're not ice cubes yet, but they will be. Oh yeah. Anyhow, you can use these, you know, you can save them for the winter, and if you get a spider bite, or I don't know, whatever, if you don't have plantain growing fresh in your yard, this is the next best thing, other than like ointments or whatever. So, and this is really super, because this really means that I need to clean out my freezer more often. Usually I'm just in there looking for old food that I can thaw and give to the pigs. But here is another little miniature ice cube tray, and that's the plant, or the Touch Me Not cubes that we did last year, and there's nothing in there. It's just like stickiness at the bottom. So if I was really desperate, I could like scrape this out and, you know, put it on me, and maybe it would work. But I'm gonna rinse this out and fill it with plantain until the Touch Me Nots come out.